Welcome to my podcast series, Independence for Life, diving into management, instruction, and guidance of your lifestyle as you continue your journey through life and into retirement and older age. Hi, my name is Nancy Brenicardi. I am an integrative nutrition health coach, nutritionist, certified caregiver, and fitness professional and instructor. I work independently in every capacity as described. I am the creator of Independence for Life. I am continuing my preparation of upcoming podcasts to help guide you on your journey of independence for life. So let's begin your Independence for Life journey and keep in mind your why for being here today. And being healthy is not about weight loss you may experience, but about the life you gain by being a healthy weight, which is different for everyone. In my podcast number 1 and 2, I provided the basis for why I started Independence for Life and what it is, but basically I am here to spread the word about the importance of movement, proper nutrition, and preparation for older age, and to educate people about movement and continued mobility with exercise and proper nutrition. Today is podcast number 9, and I'm going to talk about sedentary lifestyle, something we've all heard of, and basically is defined as living life involving very little or no physical activity, characterized by long periods of sitting or lying down. People are spending more time this way, and it's a big public health issue, and it's connected to numerous chronic health conditions. For example, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, even early death. And this is even for people who exercise occasionally. For exercise, varied types of exercise is recommended. But you don't have to work out like an athlete, but it should be regular and consistent and a good variety of cardio, strength, balance, and stretching. Combine this type of lifestyle with daily movement, exercise, frequent interruptions of sitting, and a good diet. Modern conveniences and behaviors that go along with it contribute to this lifestyle. For example, a desk job, passive entertainment, and motorized transportation. This is a reality for most of us, but let's not dismiss this topic as simply a routine part of adult life. It may cause damage to your body and even may shorten the lifespan. Our bodies have many negative reactions to extended sitting. So let's look at it deeply and learn ways to combat it. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in men and women. It is generally considered sedentary when you're sitting more than 6 to 8 hours or perhaps even more a day, especially when there's no exercise to counteract it. But really there's no definite number. So if you're looking at steps, 5,000 or less, that's really considered sedentary. And when we talk about that term, it is synonymous with silent killer. Inactivity is a silent killer, and that is because its harmful effects develop slowly and sometimes without obvious symptoms for years, and then it sneaks up on you. It can damage the brain, heart, metabolism, weaken bones, circulation, and organ function over time. So it gradually increases disease risk. Health hazards you hear about the most are like smoking, unhealthy eating, no or little movement. These are commonly discussed. But we need to include prolonged sitting and look at the sitting positions we may experience. So there's a list of most unhealthy sitting positions. So I'm going to go over them and then I'm going to give you some ways to combat. So we have slouching, that's the C curve of the spine. We have hunching shoulders forward or maybe leaning to one side and also crossing your legs. These positions put pressure on the spine, misalign the pelvis, may create muscle imbalances, and can lead to chronic pain when you're in these positions for a long time. Soft furniture offers no support and may promote spinal degeneration. So let's break down these positions even more. So the slouch, the C curve, that actually collapses your chest, puts pressure on your spinal discs, gives you lower back pain and potential herniation. The next one is the hunching of the shoulders, which increases your upper spine's curve, strains your neck muscles, and reduces lung capacity. And when we have no support, no lumbar support, and soft couches can allow the spine to lose its S-curve and may add to the pressure of the spine and accelerate degeneration. Extended sitting weakens the core muscles, like example, your back and your abdominals. They play a major role in maintaining proper posture, structural stability, and balance, and it causes dysfunctions like chronic lower back pain, slouching, reduced balance, and increased injury risk. These manifestations can lead to functional limitations like difficulty lifting, bending, or sitting, and possibly incontinence. Extended sitting allows the core muscles to be inactive and fail to engage and contract to support the spine and the posture, which may cause rounding shoulders, like how you see people in public looking down at their phone. Everything is rounded over. Then we come into, so that was your core. So now I'm looking at the hip flexor tightness. So the front of the hips, which are the major role in hip flexion and knee extension. So hip flexor tightness, it gets tight from extended sitting, which can also lead to lower back, hip, and knee pain, and a shortening of the range of motion, making it difficult to perform activities of daily life. Extended sitting also has a bad effect on your blood circulation. Inactivity causes blood flow to slow down, especially in the legs and the feet, and can lead to venous insufficiencies like the blood pools in the veins causing swelling, pain, and varicose veins. Poor circulation may contribute to heart disease, diabetes, stroke, blood clots. Inactivity also causes the heart rate to slow down and the metabolism to decrease. So we talked about extended sitting weakens the core muscles, tightens those hip flexors, poor blood circulation, heart rate slowing down, metabolism to decrease. So I wanted to give you a few side effects of the heart rate slow and the metabolism decrease. So the heart rate, a slow heart rate prevents adequate oxygen-rich blood from reaching the brain and the body, and it could lead to chronic fatigue, weakness, decreased exercise capacity. Negative effects of decreased metabolism. The body burns fewer calories, and the excess calories are more easily stored as fat, and this could all lead to weight gain, chronic fatigue, or also difficulty losing weight. So extended periods of sitting is an insidious hazard and is known as the sitting disease, and also, like I said earlier, the silent killer, even for those who exercise occasionally. We were meant to move, so let's move. So I'm going to go over a list now of trying to make improvements, okay, with our extended sitting, with our sedentary lifestyle. And when I talk about sedentary lifestyle, I'm not just talking about your 9-to-5 job. I'm also including what happens to you when you get home or on weekends. Okay, so if you're sitting all day, you're in the car also. If you work outside the home, then you have that sit, right, traveling to and from. Then you come home, you're sitting at the dinner table, you're sitting on the couch watching a program. So there's ways to combat these things. If we try to think about movement as medicine to combat this lifestyle, I think that you'll be a step ahead. And in one of my other podcasts, I talked about how to be a step ahead, to stay a step ahead, being mindful of what we're doing. Okay, movement is medicine. So let's think about ways to try to make these improvements and just being aware of how much we're actually sitting. So making improvements. Number one, if we are sitting at our desk, let's try to, again, be mindful, sit upright, and maintain the spine's natural S-curve. Make a conscious effort. Set a reminder on your phone even, or put a sticky note on your device that you're working from. Or, just simple, a couple of sentences. Number one, am I sitting upright? Am I comfortable? Am I leaning to one side? Just reminding yourself. Setting the reminder on your phone, which I will be going over for another break. But this particular reminder, if you're not putting a sticky note somewhere, it's just, am I sitting upright? How's my posture? Just constantly reminding yourself what's happening. Maybe you can support your back with lumbar support. Example, a lumbar roll. Or if you don't want to spend any money on devices, you can get a towel, you can roll that up and put that behind your back for the lower back's curve. How about keeping your feet flat, whether it be on the floor or on a footrest? Keeping the body in alignment, being aware of what's happening, maintaining your posture as much as possible. There's also things called an active workstation, a standing desk. Or if you don't have one of those, maybe you can find somewhere where there's a higher counter. Or you can make the counter higher by stacking books, reams of paper, putting your laptop on top of there so you can stand. Okay? There's also things such as an under-the-desk treadmill, under-the-desk bicycle, under-the-desk elliptical. So do as much of your job standing as possible and move as much as possible beyond that. Standing burns twice as much as sitting. So please maximize your time with a healthy lifestyle in general, which means you'll be a step ahead anyway, because these things will become and feel natural to you. You'll want to continue the momentum of promoting this lifestyle. So if you're in the mindset of the sedentary lifestyle and staying and remaining that way, I feel, in my professional opinion, you're going to always be taking a step back. So if we look at things as always taking a step forward, being a step ahead, promoting a healthy lifestyle, that will resonate in every aspect of your life, including your workspace, making your workspace a happy workspace as much as you possibly can. And having the higher up desk, perhaps having a treadmill under your feet, just to get some circulation, some blood flow, okay? Like I said, maximize your time with a healthy lifestyle in general is going to get you that step ahead. Anything you do, maximize your time with it. To give you an example, a simple example, if you're going for a walk every day, bring some hand weights. That's maximizing your effort. Here's where I was talking earlier about setting a reminder on the phone. So take a break. If this is possible, and I'm just giving you here examples, I'm just guiding you along. I don't know what you got going on at work, but if you can, set the reminder on the phone every 30 minutes, every 20 minutes, every 45 minutes, every 60 minutes, whatever you can do to get up and move around for a minute or two or more, ideally, if that's possible, in order to get the blood pumping from head to toe and getting some stretching in to prevent stiffness. So again, we were meant to move. Movement is medicine. Let's try to move around as much as possible. There's also another way for the accountability factor, and if you listen to my podcast, you know I like the accountability factor because it helps, it's sustainable. Track your steps. Get a pedometer. I looked at them on Amazon. $10, $15. I think you attach it to your shoe. It's something simple. It's not a fancy Apple Watch or a Fitbit. I think even there's apps on your phone. Maybe you can download for free, to track your steps. Track your steps. See where you're at. See what improvements you can do. Set goals for yourself. If you're only getting 5,000, maybe next week try for 6,000. Make those efforts. Get a step ahead. Another way to make improvements on the sedentary lifestyle is strengthen your core muscles with regular exercise. And some examples could be planks, sit-ups, or even yoga, right? So people hear the word plank and they instantly, I can't do that. Well, how do you know? How do you know that you can or can't do that? Start off in a beginner modified position and work your way up to a standard plank. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Making the effort will get you a step ahead. Same with sit-ups. It doesn't have to be a perfect setup. Start out where you can start out with and work your way up to improving those sit-ups. There's modifications for everything. Yoga. Every time I say yoga to somebody, they automatically shut down. I can't do that. That's too hard. Well, I've talked about this in my other podcasts where yoga is actually a practice. And the more you practice, what happens? You get better, right? Practice makes progress, okay? Practice makes progress, and that fits into every capacity of our lives. Practice makes progress. And there's, I've also told you going, and I use it too, going on YouTube for free. There's plenty of free exercise out there on YouTube, okay? And that's something else that I'm working on the side because I'm a fitness instructor. And I have a YouTube channel, and that's how you're getting to these podcasts right now. I'm going to be putting on there my exercise classes, and I promote cardio, strength, balance, stretching. So there's plenty of resources out there, and there's no reason why someone can't get on there because it's there 24/7, any point from anywhere. You always have your phone with you. You have YouTube with you. You have resources, free resources. And another way to make improvements, stretch regularly, focusing on hip flexors, that's the areas in front of your hips, and other tight muscles to help improve your flexibility and reduce pain. Okay, but listen to me about the stretching, okay? We want to do it slowly and move around first. So I wouldn't get up and just start stretching every muscle like crazy because you could sustain injury that way, especially in the colder weather. So I would get up first, maybe start doing some marches around, taking some laps around the office. If you got a staircase, that'd be great. Going up and down the staircase, not only moving your legs, moving your arms too, getting everything moving, getting everything warmed up, and then gently begin stretching those tight areas, okay? So that is the list that I was talking about, how to make those improvements. Sounds pretty simple. I never come on my podcast, give you anything complicated. I try to break it down for you. I try to give you the topic, what the problems are, and how to combat it, and let's remember in every podcast that I do bring to you, movement is medicine. That's always going to be the takeaway. And good food is also medicine. And those two will always go together. Movement and nutrition go together. They live together. They love to be together. So that was my podcast today, number 9, sedentary lifestyle. Movement is medicine. Podcast number 10 coming up is how to read a food label and marketing tricks that they do, that the food manufacturers impose on us. So I wanted to go over how to read a food label and how to be aware, or what to be aware of when you're trying to purchase packaged food, looking at marketing and all the tricks that they think that they're tricking us. Okay, so I wanted to give you some ammunition for that as well. And I thank you for being here today and continuing to listen to my podcast, because I'm going to do a million more to come. I got lots and lots of information for you, lots to tell you, lots to guide you and help you manage your lifestyle. I am Nancy Branicardi, Independence for Life. My email address is IND4LIFELLC@gmail.com. Let me know if you have any questions or if you have a suggestion for a future podcast topic. Thank you for being here today.